Hey there everybody, it's Jason the GarageBand fan. So, this video is going to be about all the stuff that I got today in Sonora. So, I'm in Sonora, California, and I am visiting my grandpa right now. So, I got some pretty cool stuff from places in Sonora on the way there to the house. So I decided to take a break from uploading total drama videos just so I can make this video. I would upload it on the Real Jason's Cartoon Favorites, but it's currently disabled, so I just decided to upload it here. But anyways, let's take a look at everything that I got. First off, we have a DVD. So it is The Emperor's New Groove, the New Groove Edition. So this is a pretty weird copy that I found because it came from the library. So the person who I got this from, so I got it at a swap meet in Sonora. It's where people sell stuff that they have in their storage, or that they've had in their storage for a pretty long time. Or maybe not for a long time, I just want to get rid of it. I don't know the works, to be honest. But, yeah, so this is old library stock. So, yeah. Emperor's New Groove is a really good movie, one of my all-time favorite Disney animated movies of all time. So I'm really happy that I have it on DVD. At some point, I want to get the 2-movie collection Blu-ray that has the first movie, which is this one, and the sequel, Kronk's New Groove, which is actually one of the few Disney direct-to-video sequels that I do like. However, the problem that I have with the Blu-ray is that there are no extras on it. This DVD does have some bonus features on it, so I might hold on to this DVD. Well, I probably definitely will hold on to this DVD if I end up getting the Blu-ray, the 2-movie collection Blu-ray. But anyway, here's the DVD in its library stock form. Here's the front, spine, and the back. You can pause here if you want to read the description. Here are these special features. You can pause here if you want to read all this information here. And here is the disc with some pretty nice looking artwork, which is something that Disney usually does not do with their DVDs and Blu-rays anymore. Next off, this is something really awesome that I got from my Uncle Bob, who lives here in the house. That's that I'm in. So, there are 3 things in this bag that he got from a comic book convention and gave to me as gifts. So, first off, we have 2 Yogi Bear comic books. They are number 9 and number 10 in what appears to be the same series of comics. It says all new stories and art, from Hanna-Barbera, of course. And yeah, these are pretty cool. Let me check to see what the date on these comics are. Alrighty, so it says 1971 are when these comic books were published. At least according to the first one. Let me double check and see if this one's correct too. Yep, both 1971. So yeah, pretty cool. And then we have a comic book called Cracked. So basically, Cracked was a humor comic book that tried to be a pale imitation of, well, it tried to be Mad Magazine, but it was basically a pale imitation of that magazine. It's alright, but not really as good as Mad. So, yeah, but it's something. It's the first issue, and says Collector's Edition, reproduction, so, yeah, just something neat. Speaking of Mad Magazine, hold on, let me get them out. We have these. So, I have never seen these magazines before. It's Mad Extra Large. So, I don't know exactly what this was. Well, at least I didn't know what it was until I got it from the seller. So I found this in a box full of Mad magazines. And the seller told me that Mad Extra Large was a series of Mad magazines that was published in the early 2000s. And they basically reprinted old Mad magazine articles from the older issues and compiled them into a monthly publication. So he actually got these as stock from a grocery store that was getting rid of these. And they are in a pretty good condition, even though they are from 2001 and 2002, according to these stickers here. So, yeah, these are pretty cool. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to show you the front and back covers for for each issue. So, here's this one. So, it looks like this is issue 11. Issue 19, issue 12, issue 9, and issue 17. And before you mention this in the comments, like, you've asked me this in the comments, I'm sorry, it's just, my tongue has been slipping a lot today. It's not really a problem that I have usually in these videos, so I apologize for the slips of the tongue that occur often in this video. But, yeah, my first exposure to Mad was in the cartoon that aired on Cartoon Network, so, yeah. Alright, so now that I've shown you these very interesting magazines, now it's time to take a look at 2 more interesting magazines. First off, did you know that Rugrats had a comic book series? I didn't until I found this. So, this is apparently, let me double check to see what issue this is. I guess it doesn't say. Oh, wait, now I see it. Volume 2, issue 9. So, this is an issue of a magazine called Rugrats Comic Adventures. This is pretty cool. I really like this. So, it has some comic books, like some, not books because this is already a comic book. It has some comics and a couple of little puzzles and stuff like that themed after Rugrats. And apparently, according to this information right here, this was published by the same company that published Nickelodeon magazine. So, yeah. I knew that Nickelodeon had another magazine that they published called Nick Mag Presents, where every issue they would have a different series that the magazine was themed after as a way to promote, like, new upcoming events. Like, I know that they made a couple of SpongeBob ones to promote things like the Lost episode, aka The Sponge Who Could Fly, and Lost in Time, and some of those other episodes. And I still have a Nickelodeon magazine that was part of the Nick Mag Presents series that was themed after Pests of the West from SpongeBob. But I never knew they made other magazines besides those two, the main Nick magazine and Nick Mag Presents. This is super cool. I really like this comic. It has some good stories in here. I'm surprised that they didn't make something like this for SpongeBob. Yes, I know that they had the SpongeBob comic series back in the early 2010s, but that was Bongo Comics and not Nickelodeon magazine. Though a lot of the people who worked on Nick Mag also worked on the SpongeBob comic series. Would have been pretty cool if Nick Magazine released a similar series for SpongeBob, as well as, you know, other Nicktoons as well. Speaking of SpongeBob, we have this. So this is basically a magazine about pop culture or whatever. It shows articles about toys, movies, cartoons. Pretty interesting stuff. But SpongeBob is on the cover because they actually have an article about the making of the show. Right here. Oh, man. Oh, man. Why, Steven Hillenburg? Why do you have to appear on this page? It's a sad thing that he died at only 56. Huh? Or at least that's how many years old I think he died. I think it was 56, somewhere around the 50 range. Anyway, he died too early. So, yeah. So this is, you can tell that this is an older magazine. And They basically talk about the making of the show, and there's some photos featuring some of the characters. And, oh, special prime time episode airing on Nickelodeon on March 9th at 8 p.m. Oh, this was made to promote Shanghai. You know, that SpongeBob episode where people could actually vote on how they wanted the episode to end. I want to give a shout out to a YouTuber named NickTendo. He did a really awesome video about Shanghai, and I'll put a link to that and his channel in the description. And then, oh no, DCA, Disney's California Adventures, back when it was awful. Anime, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, you know, nothing too major here. But yeah, this is a pretty neat magazine. It's called In Power, I think. This is a pretty cool. I really wish we had something like this nowadays. Just a magazine dedicated to kids' pop culture. Oh well. So now we're down to the last things in my stash, or however you would like to call it, of the stuff that I got. So, we have some Archie Digest magazines. Yes, I do like Archie comic books, but I haven't seen Riverdale yet. I heard a lot of people say that it's really good, but I haven't actually started watching it yet. I probably should. It's on Netflix, so I think I'll check that out later. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Archie comic books. I usually prefer comedy comics over action comics, so I have some pretty good comics for Archie, but also other ones for comedy, like the Harvey comics featuring Casper and Hot Stuff and other related characters. And I also have a bunch of comic books based off of cartoons, like the Rugrats one I'm showing you right now. But not like the same series, I'm just saying like other cartoon-based comic books. So yeah, some Archie Digest comics. Here are the covers. I have other comics from around the same time period for Archie in my collection. If anyone is interested, I might do a video about my collection of comic books. But that's only if you guys are interested. And this isn't something that I'm planning on keeping because I'm giving it to someone else. But I also have a Star Wars book called Darth Vader and Son, giving it to my nephew Kyleo, who is big fan of the Disney action stuff that Disney acquired, like Star Wars and Marvel. Usually not a big fan of action, but Marvel is one of the few, and Star Wars are some of the few action things that I really do enjoy. Just because, you know, they're not just strictly action. They have some other stuff too that I really enjoy. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know how I can word this, but there are action stuff that I do enjoy. It's just, I'm not, like, the super die-hard fan of the action genre. My favorite genre in all of media is comedy, because I like it when I laugh. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a like. Be sure to comment if you want to. Especially if you have any information about this, about all this stuff. And once again, NickTendo, a shout out goes to you, so if you're watching this video, please be sure to comment on it. Okay, that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next video where I show you some merch. I'm Jason Stevenson, aka Jason the Garage Band Fan, and I am signing off.